Hey folks, Brian. We just got done playing RQG. What was supposed to be Chapter 2, but boosted to Chapter 3 with the new beginnings thing. A subtle strike. But it decompressed into just a single encounter. And so it's Interlude Part 2 between Chapters 2 and Chapter 3. The party... we brought the party up, and the live plays in the description again. The party getting back from Bold Home. Got the Clearwine, doing normal stuff. Next day was Babistagor's High Holy Day, so Arestra got to do worship service on that. I have modified the worship bonus rules. For every magic point you sacrifice above and beyond what's required, you only get plus 1%. Because sacrificing 5 magic points is nothing. And that's plus 50% to your skill roll, which takes significant sacrifices elsewhere otherwise. So I kind of laid down the law on that one. So Rustra, it's a High Holy Day, that's plus 40. She sacrifices an extra 12 magic points. That's plus 52 to her, I guess 40% she already has or something like that. So really high percentage to do. So she didn't really do any extra sacrificing. And she made a roll, so she gets a check for a power gain. We also did some. We did the end of season phase for fire season, which is not recorded. Since we did the checkpoints from the battle, it was just choose the 4 things and what are you researching and what are you paying a trainer for to train, that kind of stuff. It was pretty quick and easy. And we got some narration piece. There's some stuff. We're going around Clearwine. There's another duck delegation in town, and these are not the guys who are complaining about the duck hunt in the past. It's somebody else new or something else. So it gets later on in the evening, that kind of thing, and the party gets called up to speak with Queen Laika. So they'll gather up. They go up to the that part of the city, and they're hanging out, waiting their turn to get in, that kind of thing. They get brought in. She says, "I believe you know this gentleman," pointing to what's his name, the duck, Darvin the duck, who's the head duck of the duck village near Farvine, I think it is, in the Dog Rat Valley, the setting for the scenario, the Rattling Wind. Oh, yes, we do. And she explains that he has a personal request to make of the party to go visit a village in the Les Melder tribe. Came to me because he's asking for people to go across tribal lines. She doesn't have an issue with that. If you wish to help him out, go right ahead. That kind of thing. And then she turns and talks with her advisors. Okay, go guys. So they kind of stick in the corner, talk a little bit, and then they go outside. They kind of chat a little bit on the way. Darvin is there with one of his scouts. I didn't write their names down. I forgot. So one of the scouts is going to lead the party to Marsh Hedge, which is a village near the edge of the upland marsh. Darvin has a cousin who lives in Marsh Hedge, and a number of people are acting weird. Most of the village is human, but there is a duck population there. It doesn't look like any of the ducks have been acting odd, but a number of the humans are acting very strange. And the marsh has been expanding. And I kind of talked, retconned a piece to the party about the fact that as they were doing the Battle of Five Queens, it was obvious plus word that was talking. The marsh is expanding again. And Darvin's cousin doesn't think it has anything to do specifically with the marsh, but it might. The marsh, undead, people acting weird, that kind of stuff. It does happen, right? But Darvin has an intense fear of the undead, and so he's not going to be going to Marsh Henge to help us out. But he knows somebody who doesn't have any issues with undead, the party. And that's why he asked to see if they wouldn't be interested in seeing if there might be some, undead thing going on that's affecting people in his cousin's village. So, they're all good to go about doing that. One of my players wasn't able to play tonight because of things at home. Work, understand that happens. My son, at about this point in the game, came down and talked to me about personal things, and he's just not in the right headspace, and so he bowed out the rest of the session. So, and I had pretty much written out Subutai even being there. Okay, he's a hunter. He's out in town. He's out in the wilderness. No, he's doing this kind of thing. So he's not there. It's no problem. I just kind of had to white out the Scandor being there or not, since we're getting ready to have a battle here. If you're not here, you're not here, kind of thing. So it's Lars, Arestra, and Grolar, and the duck. Moving through the town, the city, and there's a place where they leave the upper city before they get to the lower city. There's a little stretch there that I'm not sure what it is, but there's a place against the back wall that looks like a perfect spot for a bunch of warehouses. And this particular encounter that I'm taking from a module dealt with assassins on the docks, right, of a port city. And there's like a series of scenarios where the second one is the party's heading cross country, and these assassins who were doing the warehouse thing as well, and they're kind of following up on this. So take these guys out. As we see them out in town, go, in town we can do this kind of thing, and just tie it all into my whole scenario thing. I had some spider spirits possessing people. And so I was trying to figure out, okay, so who are these people that, okay, they could be just anybody's in town, but how would that make sense for tying things in? So what I thought was pure inspiration, I chose the herders from the Hunt the Week scenario, where they were with the herders because the two saber-toothed cats killing cattle and stuff, those guys were the ones who were possessed by these spider spirits. And that's because there's a power behind the giant saber-toothed cats that had intelligence behind their mind, right? Behind their eyes. And so these cats were killed, and they were possessed by cat spirits as well. So the guy who's doing all this stuff finds out that, hey, these cat spirits were killed. Well, he talks to them what's going on. He finds out there were these herders out there, and they had some help, and the help killed them. And he goes, okay, well, let me get back at them. And so he goes and finds some spider spirits and says, hey, spider spirits, go and find these people, possess them, and go take these other guys out. And so I had to do a little massaging. Okay, if a spirit actively possesses you, how much information can it glean from you? Because your spirit if you're possessed, is collapse, right? Because it specifically says that you don't get their skills, you get starting skills, essentially. But these spirits are also initiates of the spider goddess. So they've got some cult spells and some cult rune magic. And it just started to explode. This is going to be so great, right? There were initially 5, but I cut it down to 4 because I only had pawns for 4. And of the 4, one of them had the spider head thing, but also had webbing. And so he's going to cast webbing, which takes his two rune points. So that's the only thing he can really do. But it turns out he has some significant healing spells. So that's his backup, is go around and start healing people if they get damaged. 2 of them have enough rune points that they've got the spider head spell, but they've also got the spider limbs spell, right? So they are up on the wall with 2 extra legs and 2 extra arms. And they've got the little net thing so they can attack with the net in addition to doing normal attacks. But, they've got the mouth and the bite thing. That's what they need to go for. And one of them just has the head thing. And that's the 4, right? Okay, so they set up. Okay, they're walking around town. They see the part. They track down the part. They're following around, kind of thing, and they see. Okay, they're going up to the thing. It's getting dark. Let's wait here. Okay, here they're coming around the corner. So they cast their magic. 2 of them go up on the wall. One kind of goes back in the corner, and another one stands halfway to the road. So as they come by, Lars, come here. And then looking nervous and that kind of thing. And the guy in the back's looking all nervous around too, and trying to draw them in to where the guys are on the wall, so they can use their net thing to snag them and then jump down on them and start biting and chomping, right? Lars follows up. What's going on? She turns, calls the other guy by name. Starts with an H. I forgot what it is already, but when they come together, Lars gets up close. She turns. The other guy does the webbing spell, and I've written stuff down on the little character sheet thing I made for him about the webbing stuff. I didn't really write down enough. I know the 40 strength, acts as glue, 20 strength, and something else. But I'd forgotten that this thing is a 3 meter by 3 meter splot. And if you get hit by it, you are incapacitated. And I just had, okay, largely locked down. You can't, you're stuck there. And then they're moving on to attack, and the girl turns on him, Jarina, spider head, mandibles, bites, got a special. He missed his dodge, got him on the arm. Did, I think, like 5 points of damage, but then that poison, her poison potency is 12. He made his save, so that's 6 hit points of general hit points he took. Throughout that battle, she bites him again in the back, essentially, for a few points, but another 6 points of poison, and he goes down. That didn't happen until the end. So anyway, the surprise attack, right? You guys do the thing, but they're too far. The guys in the back, Arestra and Engrilar and the Duck, are too far away for the guys on the wall to actually do anything. So they come down and move forward. Arestra and Engrilar engage and start attacking. They're doing the parry with the sword against the mandible attack, and not sure how I feel about that. I kind of mentioned that there should be some like hand-to-hand kind of rules where you're boxing, bam, bam. That's not strike rank 7 and strike rank 14. That's 7, 8. That kind of thing. So Lars mentioned about being rules about getting in underneath people's weapons. I'm going to look that up. But I was going to just invent some hand-to-hand rules, and that's what the guys on the wall runners just jump down on people, and so they're whacking with the net and then punch or bite, that kind of thing. So you can do some massive damage on there. But when I got down to where I just got 3 players, and I got 4 of the monsters. Oh, the duck, I guess at 4-4, I guess. But at one point I was looking at 5, and 2 of them had webbing, and it was going to be just 2 get webbed down, the other 2 get roped up, and it's all attack and bite. I started getting nervous that maybe this might be a wipe. But then when they started actually getting into a fight, their parries away hot. They were in town. They just got done seeing the queen. Now I think about it, a wrestler probably would not have had her shield. Her axe, yes, absolutely. Broadsword, yeah, you've got your personal weapons, but man, a shield, I don't know about that. Especially a large shield, I don't know. Plus, you're wearing your nice stuff, right? Yeah, I should probably have walked back on that shield thing. But I expected them to be out of armor. A wrestler, yeah, I can see being in armor. She's, a soldier. That's her outfit, so it makes sense. I didn't have an issue with that. And the other guys were wearing their fancy stuff, so. But they took down the 2 multi-legged, multi-armed spider head guys in the back. Lickety split. They did cast Befuddle on Jortarl, which had the webbing, but he only has 2 rune points. It takes 2 rune points to cast, and so he did the 1 webbing, and that was it. But he does have heal 5. And so that was his position. He's going to back up people by healing, but they did Befuddle on him, so he kind of backs up, trying, what's going on? Who's who? What's what? And Engrilar moves over, does a subduing attack, aim shot to the head, did like 7 points of damage. The guy's got 4 or 5 hit points. Made the roll, he goes unconscious. And then they move up and try to surround or try to capture with one of the nets Jarina, who's been trying to get a bite onto Lars, but he keeps dodging out of the way. Should have had her do a grapple type attack to reduce his ability to dodge. Give her some kind of bonus to help get those other bites on him. But he dodged 3 or 4 times while they're finishing guys in the back and coming around. And the wrestler wanted to kind of drape the net over the girl, but she's like, hey, that she keeps moving around. So all the move for that round is done. She still has enough strike ranks to do the bite. And it's a side hex, so Lars can't really dodge. He's glued to the ground, which is better than being immobilized, incapacitated, or whatever the terminology was for that 10-foot by 10-foot web splash that it was supposed to be. So she gets that second bite on him. More poison. He did make a save, but still enough to put him down. So he goes down. And then she turns, and I'm thinking, okay, she needs to attack Arestra, but she's looking out and sees that all the other spider guys are down. And everybody else is still up, even though Lars dropped. So I was kind of debating back and forth, okay, does she try to attack Arestra? Just got that shield, I still want to get through that. So the spirit leaves. Plop. Body collapses to the ground. He looks around, sees all that, escape. So they try to do healing, and I have changed my healing rules. I think I talked about this last time. In order to make, natural healing and first aid actually of value, magical healing is not infinite. You can heal each wound with a magical healing. 1, 2, or 3, I don't care what it is you're using. If you're using a heal 2, you're only healing 2 points. So if somebody's got a massive wound, you don't want to do a heal 2 on it. You want to do the heal wounds spell, pump the magic points into it in order to heal that wound, right? So Arestra tries to cast healing. She misses. Ingrilar gets up there, does healing 2 on Lars's arm. And at that point, they kind of start discussing, okay, can we just do healing until he's up? Well, no, we can't, because he's only got essentially 4 wounds. the 2 bites, and the 2 poisonings. Okay, so that's a maximum of 8 points that you can heal. And I wasn't sure how far down Lars was, but I knew he was negative. And he's not really bleeding. Although I'm going to put bleeding when you amputate stuff. But he's below 0. And I allow your healing rate in rounds. He had a healing rate of 3. So they got 3 rounds to bring in positive. And by the time we got to that point, that 3 rounds, he was at 0. So I was kind of thinking to myself, okay, is 0 really dead? It's not negative. It's not positive. But Lars kind of bit off on it's okay if I'm dead kind of thing. And so I didn't continue to push that angle. It was kind of a bummer at that point for all of us because Lars was one of my first players. But both of us were not seeing sorcery doing what we were thinking sorcery should be doing. It got really complicated and rather frustrating a number of times. I think we got to the point where we were comfortable with something that he had. But yeah, I'm not sure. Lars did during the fight cast Mind Read on Jarina, asking, "Who sent you? Why are you doing this?" And he got a vision of this creature, and I was going to make a roll because they were possessed by spider spirits to see if he noticed something. He got a special on that. So yeah, you could tell that this isn't Jarina. This intelligence isn't even mammalian. I don't say it was a spider spirit, but it's not normal. And he asked a couple of questions along why he's fighting or trying not to hit Jarina, is trying to flash up the webbing stuff. And why does this kill you? Why? Told to. That kind of thing, right? Not a whole lot there. So it all ended kind of a downer. About that time, city guardsmen are coming around from off the wall. They take the 2 unconscious bodies up to the palace, and they take Lars up to the temple. Some discussion, okay, we're going to make donation stuff, make sure he's got a real decent funeral, that kind of thing. And that's where we ended the session. Not sure how I feel about it still. And I'm starting to get, I'm not comfortable with combat again, or anymore, or something. I don't know if I'm trying to dissect it too much, or if I'm just too tactical and it's not really playing well. But yeah, I need to dig through the combat rules some more and see if I'm not missing something. I mean, the normal strike ranks, going through strike ranks, but when you're trying to actually see some kind of, like, I had these guys with the cestus, the armored gauntlets things, to just start pummeling people because they can't really do much. Except that bite. That bite was good, and their bite percentages were pretty decent. I don't know. Happy gamer.